Vasco da Gama was born in 1460 or 1469 in Sines, Portugal. He was born to a family of 8. His father, Estevão da Gama, and his mother, Isabel Sodre. Then he had 6 other siblings. As a child, Vasco da Gama wandered the woods, wandering about, pretending he was an explorer, exploring the world and finding better ways to trade with other countries. And the best way to trade with other countries was through sailing. And as a child, all Vasco da Gama ever wanted was to sail the open seas and trade. So, as a child, all he would ever want was to sail, and any chance he got, or even the mere dream of sailing, he took. So day after day, he would go out and look at the seas, look at the sailors on the sea, and pretend he were one of them. However, his father was quite a strict man, and oftentimes very strict in his punishments. So sometimes Vasco da Gama would imagine the punishment was a little bit out of hand.
Finish him!
While his imagination did take him random places, he always would turn around and look back at his boat before running back inside to study. And while it wasn't the best thing at the time, his knowledge of the stars and his studying in astrology did help him very much in his career as a sailor. Following in suit with his father, he joined the Order of Santiago in 1480. And in 1481, Prince John, the master of the Order of Santiago, rose to king, and Vasco da Gama set sail from Lisbon on the 8th of July in 1497 with the São Gabriel and a fleet of 4 ships with 170 men. They travelled for a while. Then they reached the Cape Verde Islands. Their next stop was on the Sierra Leone, and they took a brief break before headed out into the Atlantic Ocean.
Break.
The explorer then headed into the Atlantic Ocean, seeking the South Atlantic West Indies. And eventually they found them on November 4th, 1497, and they landed in Mozambique. Since this was a Muslim-controlled territory, they feared hostility towards the Christians, so they dressed up as Muslims and went into the city. At the gate, they met the guard, and, as was customary, a formal dab. After this, he gained an audience with the Sultan of Mozambique. Once he had gained an audience with the Sultan, he had to present him with a suitable gift. So they battered around for a little while, and he was unable to provide the Sultan with a suitable gift since he only had paltry goods with him. He might as well have been trading with dirt, because it did not work. The Sultan hated the gifts, and after a little while the locals became suspicious of these travelers from foreign lands, and they chased them out of the city.
Hey guys, it's Vasco Da Gama, about to blow up this city. You got a hit?
Once more they boarded their ship and headed for the next city. While in this area, they resorted to piracy to gain more money, and they also, in a similar way from the last town, tried to offer these gifts and trade with their paltry goods, and they were chased out of the city again. But then they were forced to fire their cannons into the city again.
You got a hit?
Once more, the travelers boarded their ship and headed north towards Malindi. They arrived in Malindi on the 14th of April in 1498, which was a much friendlier town than the last two, as this town was in conflict with Mombasa. It was here that the expedition first noticed signs of Indian traders. Here it was also where they hired a pilot to guide them the rest of the way up to India. The idea of this pilot is not known, whether he was Christian or Muslim. Regardless, they settled on a final area to sail. There were many trades made in Malindi while they were deciding on a pilot to guide them. Since they were further northeast, their paltry goods became more valuable, as these were not easily accessible from where they were at in their current country. Over time, Vasco became homesick and depended on this jewelry to help him.
For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Jeremiah 29:11.
Back at sea once again, they headed towards their final destination of Calicut, India. And they made it to the port of Calicut, India, with flying ease. They arrived on the 20th of May, 1498. And the king of Calicut, hearing of their arrival, returned to Calicut. This included a procession of 3,000 armed guards that were named Nairs. While in the city, they gained an interview with the Zamarin, but they failed to impress him ultimately. They sent 4 scarlet cloths, 6 hats, 4 branches of corals, a box of 7 brass vessels, a chest of sugar, 2 barrels of oil, and a cask of honey. Yet this failed to impress the Zamarin nor his officials, and they wondered why there was no gold or silver. Then Muslim merchants, which were the rivals of Da Gama, suggested that they were merely pirates and not ambassadors of Spain. Da Gama's request to leave behind a man in charge of unsold merchandise was denied by the king, and then the king insisted on paying customs just as all the other merchants had. Annoyed by this, Da Gama took a few Nairs, which were armed guards, and 16 fishermen with them by force, and this brought about the end of their expedition around Africa, and naturally they fired cannons back into the city again. On their return, they left Calicut in August 29th of 1498. This return trip took 132 days to cross the Indian Ocean, whereas the journey to there took 23 days beforehand. The fleet finally arrived in Malindi on January 7th, 1499. Half the crew died during crossing, so they all compiled onto the Sao Gabriel and Berrio. They crossed the Cape of Good Hope on the 20th of March, which then they reached the west coast of Africa by the 25th of April. Vasco then elected to stay with his brother, who was grievously ill, on the Santiago Islands. While en route to Lisbon, his brother died. In the 29th of August, 1499, Vasco arrived in Lisbon, where he was given a hero's welcome and showered with wealth, including a triumphal procession and public festivities. After his return home, Vasco da Gama lived out a quiet life on the Santiago Islands for a little while until his second voyage to Calicut. But this is where our story ends. Thank you.
Action. And go. Okay, it didn't start video. Okay.
Yeah, see, it's like
Frick!
Tell me where to go.
Go. Start.
Okay, so then Steven, go over there. Yeah. Let's go on, sir.
This is great, Cody. I really don't want to do this right now. There's so many better things I could be doing on my Saturday.
Yeah, I know. Like playing video games alone in your basement, right?
Yeah, except for it's up in my room.
Okay.
That's not alone.
Yeah, but you're still alone.
Yes.
So, yeah, so we've got plenty of stuff.
Now we can talk about how to do cyanide.
Yeah, but see, cyanide is more of a powder. So we'll get you there, you know. And
How
then
about drinking bleach?
drinking bleach is a little more complicated. Okay, we're good.
You mean X?
Hi, guys. Welcome to Mombasa. Excuse me, Malini. Mombasa is what we're at war with. And you, sir, have come to trade with the best. With the best.
Hey guys, Vasco Da Gama. Hey guys, it's Vasco Da Gama. About to blow up the city.
Said it wrong again.
Hey guys, it's Vasco Da Gama. About to blow up the city. Cheer sound effect into this.
And go. Ready and go. Ready, go. Make sure you actually hit the tree. So, yeah, get down by his side. Jeez. Bad. Bad. Here's a sticker. Okay, so get down by his
I'm gonna
side.
laugh to my death.
Kneel down. Kneel. You have, cause we're gonna video it.
You should just start joking me.
Okay, so good. No.
It's abuse.
So just like be by side, Steven, just start coughing. Wow, this was a waste of a video. Okay, so no, stop it. Stop laughing. Steven, start coughing, act like you're dying.
Oh, dang it.
1 minute. No.
Okay.